Welcome. I'm Mayor Gary Sulz, and with me is Councillor Nicole, Cherlet, Chair of the Grizzly Plaza Enhancement Committee. Today we're talking about Revelstoke's iconic Grizzly Plaza and answering some of the concerns our citizens may have regarding the enhancements to the plaza, Nicole. So I have a couple questions for you, but I just really want to kind of, get into it right off the bat. So what elements of Grizzly Plaza are we keeping?
Well, we've heard loud and clear that the gazebo, the bears, the trees, that feeling of Grizzly Plaza needs to stay. And so we're looking at places and ways to enhance and update some of those spaces. But for example, the gazebo is staying, the red dome is staying. We're considering some acoustic enhancements to help block off the sound inside, just to make it a little bit more functional. We're looking at adding maybe a ramp to one side of the gazebo to make it more accessible. We're updating those bricks. That local brick is an important part of the look of Grizzly Plaza, but a lot of them are tired.
Yeah.
So it's time to give them some enhancements and some updating.
Well, that's great. And I think that's, a real concern for the community was like, don't mess with the stuff that's been put there for years. Mm-hmm. And so, we all know the plaza is a gathering place. So absolutely. Keeping those elements is really important to the community.
It's been really neat having the steering committee that we do have is that wide representation from both programmers and users. So we have representation for accessibility, for childcare, for the heritage, for the markets and the programming that does already happen in the plaza that brings that life to it.
Right.
But looking at ways to enhance that experience. So how do we make it safer and more enjoyable for the kids dancing? That kind of thing.
Well, it's perfect. That's good. So kind of what changes has the committee been talking about when we talk about Grizzly Plaza?
Yeah, well, that pedestrian focus is a big part of it. So one of the things, if you've ever been down for the nightly music and really enjoyed it, I think every time I've been there, I've seen somebody almost trip over the curb. So to make it a pedestrian focus would be raising the road level up to make it more of a flat surface, but then keeping that pattern and that cobblestone look in the plaza so that we can gather and enjoy and play without having to worry about rolling over a curb.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's good. So we're at this point where the committee has met several times. Mm-hmm. You're going to meet again. So what happens now? What's next for the committee?
Well, our meetings thus far have been really digging into what works and what doesn't work so well. So we've been providing all sorts of feedback and looking at what we've heard from the community to make sure we have a really good understanding of those. What do we keep? What do we want to change? So the next steps, we'll be meeting early in June to look at some enhancement options, making some final decisions. And then by the end of June, we should have a proposal ready for council and the community.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good. Yeah. So, the big thing for me was making sure that we, the city, and your committee had heard the community, their Absolutely. Concerns. And I think you've captured that. Mm-hmm. You've heard what they've said. You've heard their concerns. So as we move forward, I believe the community will be really happy with enhancements and knowing that the things that have been here forever will continue. So Absolutely. I appreciate that. So,
yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. If anyone has any concerns or comments, they're welcome to reach out. The Talk Revelstoke page has some of the basics, and we'll be adding some more information as we go forward so that people can go and take a look. They're always welcome to reach out if there's a concern they don't think has been heard. Please reach out to the committee or myself, and we can make sure it's part of the conversation.
Good. Really appreciate that. So, folks, thank you for joining us today. I hope we brought some clarity to the community about the Grizzly Plaza Enhancement Project, and we look forward to things that are coming forward
from
this committee. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, Nicole. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.